starting way back with the earliest science fiction where they really started talking about human replacements as robots. We think of AI having an emotional component as well as the intelligence component and characteristics that come from years of life that it takes us to garner and experience, right? And a broad sense of experience. With AI, it's not the same. When you talk about standing up an artificial intelligence, it would be like cloning a human at your age right now and expecting it to be able to function, right? It wouldn't have all of that it learned from childhood, from a baby, from a parent, from teachers, all those influences to help define its logic process.
You can't just pull the robot out of the box and just let it go and do what you tell it to do. These things have to be programmed and they have to be, conditioned, and that's work, that's data. There's a lot of information that gets put in behind that task. From a machine standpoint, we're building an algorithm to tell it exactly what to do. From an AI perspective, it's taken a bunch of rules and a bunch of information that it's gathered, a bunch of data, and it's trying to make informed decisions off of what it's learned from that set of data.
It's an algorithm that grows itself is a good way to phrase it. Putting it into business, we're teaching it about a specific business decision we need its help with, or specific business process or question. And its scope is set by that request. When we look at expanding AI, what we're expanding is how many different aspects of those business decisions can we ask it to handle at once. And that's when you start really growing what we call AI today, is when you increase the scope you're asking it to look at and handle and give input based on the entire collection of data.
Algorithms can be pretty strong, and I could see a number of things that we could utilize it in to just kind of better some of our processes. We use computer automation that we have in conversations that we're talking about today. Those will be driven by algorithms, which would be set of rules that, a team of a few or many will come up with and build, and ultimately will drive processes in the future.
AI's impact on supply chain, we're going to talk about it short term, middle term, long term. So short term AI, it will start by identifying optimization opportunity within your business. It won't take action. It just helps identify and put together a picture that is very complex. As it puts together that picture, that's that short term, it becomes very good at that. We begin listening to it, we begin trusting what it's giving us in that short-term picture of things that we can optimize. As a middle tier, middle timeline, you look at the ability for artificial intelligence to suggest actions. It identifies what could be there, it suggests an action, and even when you approve, it takes the action. But it keeps that human protective layer in place. And then long-term, you see AI start making those decisions and reporting on them. That becomes the point where AI is really impacting the business at that point. You still have the human involved, you still have the data collected and validating it's doing correctly. That's the long-term idea where it actually is making business decisions on your behalf based on what you've allowed it to do.
We have a lot of different processes that our employees take care of right now that I think over time, some of those could be automated and potentially refined, which gives some of our employees time to go and focus on other things that were just not there from an automation standpoint right now. So I think that would benefit us in our field right now, not necessarily our field, but this industry.
What you do with AI in an environment like that is when you have that human make the same decision with the same type of problem every time over and over again, you're wasting that human because they're doing something that you could have a machine do for them. And so for us, that's the first place where it helps a business like Pegasus, is it takes that load off that very talented freight forwarding specialist and allows them to make the tough decisions you couldn't get an AI to make. It doesn't have enough time or experience to make. And so the more I offload with AI from the common workload the better off our customer is, because our smart people are making those hard decisions that you wouldn't want an AI to make because it wouldn't know enough.
If we built an algorithm today for the way the world is today, if we don't touch that again over the next 24 months, can you imagine how effective that's going to be for us if, we continue to just not feed it any additional new, fresh data? From that standpoint, I believe just continuously updating those algorithms and feeding that data is going to be key in the future.
When it comes down to it, it's all just data. If I show you a new data view without a purpose, I've just clouded your mind in your next decision making that uses that data element. I've not improved your experience. I've actually made a harder experience and a harder business problem to solve. That doesn't mean you wait for the business problem to present itself. That's where innovation begins, is you're looking at the problem that your customer or your business has, and you're finding that new additional way to use data to solve something they don't realize they have, but we've been able to identify. And that's what a logistics provider like Pegasus, that's where we try to get ahead of that curve with our customer. And when they can't see it, we help them. So we're a partner. We got to deliver that opportunity for all their customers as well. We don't just deliver opportunity for Pegasus. We deliver opportunity for anybody we work with. The uncertain environment we find ourselves in with a supply chain isn't that it's broken, it's that the supply chain has evolved. The speed of change in supply chain is always increasing. As the speed of manufacturing, the speed of consumer need increases, so must the supply chain. So what you can extrapolate from that and what Pegasus does for our customers, we go in uncertain times and create certainty with what we have, and we solve the problems faster than other people in a more customized fashion than other people. That's what we do. That makes us different than our competitors, and that's how we use technology to our benefit.